The whole weekend though was just insane, and the fact that we got to experience that with someone that I looked up to for a long time and finally got the opportunity to meet, that was cool. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the video version of Make Every Death Count, where I get to tell you some of the fun stories we've had within this horror community, and is a spin-off of our podcast, Make Every Death Count, which is available in the description below or across any podcast platform of your choosing. Today, I'm going to be telling a story that we got to experience with the one and only Larry Zerner, star of Friday the 13th Part 3 and copyright lawyer, who has conveniently helped us along the way to understand the lawsuit surrounding the Friday the 13th IP. Speaking of which, if you are a member, right now, go to your community tab. The brand new interview with Larry Zerner is available for early access for you guys, and it'll be available this Saturday for everybody. So go check it out if you want a little bit of a scoop there and keeping with the process surrounding the appeal right now. He breaks it down pretty fundamentally. It makes it a lot easier to understand where we're at and where we may be heading. But now, let's go into the story. It's the weekend of January 25th, 2019. We're down in Atlanta, Georgia for Days of the Dead Atlanta, which is conveniently a week before Super Bowl 53, which is also in Atlanta that year. So the city was crazy. It was a hectic weekend. Days of the Dead had quite a few horror celebrities that you would know and love, including Tony Todd, Kane Hodder, CJ Graham, but the one we were most excited for, of course, was Larry Zerner. At this point, we've already done 2 interviews with him, but we never actually met. It was one of those weird situations where, it's like you know each other, but you don't, right? So we go to his table, introduce ourselves, and we hit it off pretty quickly. Thankfully, I was awkwardly nervous during this whole time, which I don't think this is something that Larry would expect or would understand that somebody could be a little starstruck over him. He's very humble. He's an extremely humble guy, and I respect the hell out of that. But Friday the 13th Part 3, probably the Friday the 13th I've seen the most amount of time, especially when I was a kid. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I remember every day we'd always, you're tired, got to take a nap throughout the day. Especially as a child myself, I would take a lot of naps. That's what you do. But the movie that would always be on during that was Friday the 13th Part 3. Why? I told you I had a weird childhood. Why? I don't know, but it always was. And I like the credits, the opening credits of Friday the 13th Part 3 are stuck in my brain forever now, which is okay because they're awesome. But I always loved the character of Shelly. I know a lot of people, it was funny, we were doing our most hated characters video and everyone's like, what about Shelly? I was like, how dare you say you hate Shelly? I've always loved Shelly. So I've always wanted to meet Larry, and now it was cool the fact that we got to do an interview with him, 2 interviews with him, now 3 interviews with him, and finally got to meet him. What made it exciting was the fact that we went out to eat every night with him. The first night we ate in the hotel, had a really cool conversation. He's really good with advice. That's actually what I probably would cherish the most about that experience with Larry, is the fact that he just gave some awesome advice about following your dream, and you got so much time, and just keep fighting for it and things like that. Because, he wanted to be an actor, and when it didn't work out for him, he still made an amazing career. And he's like, you got time. You'll figure it out. You'll figure out what makes you happy. And yeah, it was cool. It was a cool situation. But we had dinner that night. That was awesome. But then the next day, we go. It feels like a one and done situation, right? But of course, you didn't expect the whole weekend to be hectic. On Saturday night, we went to this amazing barbecue place. Some great barbecue down in Atlanta, as you would expect down there. Went to a barbecue place. I attempted to pay for the meal. This is why Larry's such a good guy, right? Because I really wanted to be able to give back to Larry, because he did those interviews for us 100% free, never asked for anything. Just a really, really cool guy, and did that just because he cares about the community. So I wanted to buy him dinner on Saturday night. Offered, and we're sitting there, we're getting dinner, and he paid for it before I even noticed that the bill came. He's just that kind of guy, right? He's just really cool, never said anything, just secretly paid for the bill, because good people do such things. So I still really appreciate that. But then it finally, that night got exciting. We went and walked the city of Atlanta. We were going around. Here's one part of the story that was fun. First, we took the Uber, right? We took the Uber to dinner that night. And this Uber driver was so confused on why there were so many people in town and in the hotel. Of course, the Super Bowl was one of those answers, but the other one was the fact that this horror convention was going on. And she was talking about how big of a Friday the 13th fan she was, which opened a door for us, right? We're just like, all right, let's play with her. She's sitting next to Larry. Larry's in shotgun. I'm stuck in the way back for some reason because apparently everybody hates me. Biggest guy stuck in the way back. It's fine, though. It's cool. I get it. So we're sitting there, and she says she's a huge Friday the 13th fan. We're like, all right, okay. What about Friday the 13th Part 3? She's like, oh, well, yeah, which one is that again? I was like, well, it's where he gets his hockey mask. You remember the guy who was playing pranks on everybody? He's like, oh, yeah, I love that guy. And I think she actually said Shelley, which was impressive, by the way. Way to whip that out of her back of her brain. It's like, oh, you do? Well, you're sitting next to him. She's like, what? You're it was one of those cool situations where you don't realize the people that are around you. So we had a little bit of fun with that, and we got to show off a little bit of Larry's celebrity a bit. But then after dinner, we go and walk the city, and of course there are some massive events going on for the Super Bowl. I mean, just massive events. There was one in that main park there in Atlanta, which I don't even remember what it's called. But they had the Verizon 5G situation going on. They had some epic DJ there. They had the Super Bowl challenges. I think the best part for us was being able to go into the Verizon 5G area and mess with some of their VR stuff. And conveniently, I have videos of this. I'll show you videos here in a second. But we go in there. It's a pretty long line, but the first thing you do, it's a VR headset, right? And it's supposed to show off how fast that 5G is with and can send a feed to the VR headset. So you have a camera on the headset that's just hooked right to it, and then you are seeing through the camera, right? As if it's your eyes. By the way, it's not all that fast. It was a little slow. There's a slight delay there, and it's just a very weird perspective. But the goal was you wear this headset, and you take footballs and you throw them at the targets to show, that you could still see fine and still throw fine. You'd be fine with the headset on. Wasn't so much the case, especially for Larry. We had Larry go, and I think Larry got like a total of like 9 points, maybe. I think he hit like 2 targets, which, hey, that's better than 0. So yeah, it was interesting, but it was just cool. Like, it was so surreal, the fact that we're like, hey, here's someone I looked up to. I always wanted to meet since I was a kid, and now we're sitting here playing some dumb VR football game with him in downtown Atlanta. I mean, that's pretty cool. Then we went on this Verizon 5G event. You go down in this hallway, and they have another VR experience where it's one of those where you sit in the chair, and the chair vibrates and moves. And we were doing this moon landing one. So you're sitting in there, you're flying off into the moon and landed on the moon and get to experience all that. Larry did it, which was funny. Just Larry in general wearing a headset. It was a good time. And he was taking pictures the whole time. It was a cool experience, not just for us, but for him too. And I appreciate the fact that he was able to have a good time with us too. We took the Lombardi trophies there. We were able to take not the actual one, but those huge statue ones. So we took pictures there. I got those as well. Then we got to play a little bit of Rocket League. So they have these. The point of this 5G again was to show off how fast these servers are, where the game is running and streaming across the city to this Verizon tent that we were in. And so Larry was playing a little Rocket League. Wasn't very good at that either, but hey, it's about having a good time, not about being talented. It's not about how good you are at the game. It's about having fun with the game. Again, just one of those. It was cool. It was a cool experience, and we had a really good time. And then again, the next day, get lunch one more time. Get a little bit of this chicken place. I think Larry had all 3 days for lunch. Had this chicken all 3 days for lunch. Impressive. I don't blame him because it was good chicken. The whole weekend though was just insane, and the fact that we got to experience that with someone that I looked up to for a long, long time and finally got the opportunity to meet, that was cool. And I won't forget that. And I hope Larry now understands why I may have been a little like, I don't get starstruck. That's the thing. I don't get starstruck. I've been starstruck probably a total of 3 times. I would say one of those was Larry. For some reason, I don't know, it was something that just kind of, a childhood memory just balled up my stomach and messed me up. With Kane Hodder, I was starstruck. And then a little bit with Robert Englund. But other than that, I have been solid. I don't get nervous. I'm pretty comfortable talking with celebrities. I have no problem asking for interviews, things like that. But man, I don't know why. Those ones fucked me up. Got nervous. Maybe it's because Larry's so smart. He's got all that copyright law going up there. It's just crazy. But hey, let me know your thoughts and comments below. What cool thing have you had the opportunity to do with celebrity? Any celebrity. It could be a horror celebrity, any icon in general. Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you next time.